This is Business I Am, and you're just in time for our last discussion on investing in your growth, in the growth of your business. All right, and in the studio, we're joined by Patience Asango, Brand and Strategy Director, Digitech Brands Limited. Patience, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you, Simba.
It's a conversation that we need to have now, investing in the growth of your business, because there's this focus on small businesses as well in the economy, which represent 80% of our economy. But scaling up has always been the challenge for most of them. Would you say that investing in your business is the only way to grow your business? And how do you start? From where do you start? Yes.
Okay, that's a pretty general question. When it comes to investing in business,
Yes.
you can look at it in different ways,
Yes.
where you're investing financially, or either you're investing in terms of skills, employments, like you're putting in different resources, or you're actually bringing in investors. This can be angel investors or capital investors. So what will determine the direction of your investment will actually be driven by the vision you have for your business.
Yes.
For instance, if you want your business to grow globally, you might want to actually start involving investors, that is capital investors, at very early stages, all right? And if you're just trying to localize your business, you might want to use internal investments, which is your finances, your time, your resources, for you to grow your business. So putting in investment in your business will of course be determined by what the vision of your business or your goal actually is towards that business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it okay to ask that when is it right for you to start investing in your business? Is that correct time?
The correct time to invest in your business is actually when you're starting,
When you're
right?
starting.
Because when you're starting...
Does that mean that you need to have a vision for your business?
Right.
Like you can just start.
Even before thinking of a business,
Yes.
you must have defined goals.
Yes.
You must have vision. And why are you starting this business? Is it a viable business? Is it something that is going to scale up, or is it something that you're just doing for the sake of doing? So before even thinking of investing, you must have that strategy. You must have that ideation, You have to know, where do I want to go? What do I want to invest in, right? So even before putting in money, putting in your time, you have to ascertain that that business is actually viable.
Yes.
Then once you feel that it has opportunities or it has the potential to scale up, then now you can look at what can I invest in? What resources, what investors can I bring on board for me to actualize this particular goal or vision?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to take it back again just a little bit. What determines the type of investor that you need? Patience? Because somebody will tell you the only reason that you need an investor is for your chances to scale up and grow.
Right.
What determines what type of investor you want to bring on board?
Right. I think this one, I'll give you an example of a very personal situation.
Yes.
When I started my first startup, which was a tech startup,
Yes.
we were approached by an investor, my partner and I, and this investor was from Silicon Valley. And being the first business that we're actually setting up, you'd realize that we had no idea on how to even run a business, all right? We just think, oh, we have all it takes, let's start the business. So when this investor came on board and was like, okay, give me your books. What are your goals? What are you going to scale up on? Like, what are your clients? Who are your clients? And what are the resources that you've put in place for you to actually meet these goals?
Yes.
Who are your clients? Do you have like this guy was really opening our minds to something that we had not really figured out, because most people start businesses without even identifying who their customers are. And though this particular investor did not really come through, he really helped us to realize what investors look out for. And that is even before you think of bringing an investor, you need to look at, are you going to benefit this investor the same way this investor is going to benefit you?
Yes.
All right, it has to be a two-way. Otherwise, why is he investing in your business, right? So even as the investor comes on board, you have to have the right numbers. You have to have the right figures. And the question that you're asking, when do you know when to bring an investor. Number one, the first thing an investor will ask you is they'll want to know how much shares they're going to get in the business. They'll want to know, you know, the stock in the business. So that mostly is determined by your initial investment. What have you put in as an individual?
Yes.
Have you put in finances? Do you have potential customers that you're actually talking to, you know, that you're going to close? And then businesses are different. For example, tech startups, a big example is Uber. When Uber, the first time they did their first investment, they got their first investor, was about $50,000. However, this business at right now is actually worth $80 billion, all right? Something they could not potentially visualize. So you realize if you're given $50,000 at the start of an investment, without really getting your numbers straight, because the potential of your valuation is determined by a lot of things. It is determined by the scalability of your business to grow. It's determined by how you're going to address the market, not just what you're looking at right now, right? So there's all that. There's a lot that has to be, you know, understood before if you even think of bringing an investor or even an investor investing in your business.
Yes. You say there's a lot that is involved just before you decide who I want to bring in, what sort of ratio that I want to give them in terms of the investment they're making into the business. Is that why it's important for every small business that looking to scale up? So before you don't take this journey alone and talk to people who know exactly how the investment should go. Is that what makes it important?
Basically, what makes it more important is, one, understanding the potential of your business to grow.
I see.
All right?
I see.
And also understanding who your customers are. Because, like I'd given an example for an Uber. If I'm starting a business where my clients are B2C, the potential of it growing is bigger and more wider than B2B. For B2B business, it's easy for you to determine the how long or the scalability of your business as opposed to B2C.
Yeah,
because you're still going to test the market.
Offering it to
Yes.
Pretty much. All right, Patience, let's move on to the next area now. I know you've seen smaller businesses that really trying to scale up. They've spoken to you. And when we're talking about scaling up a brand, isn't it? That also opens you to another level. From the ones that you've spoken to, from the one that you've gotten in touch to, what would you summarize the biggest challenge is?
Okay, so also as the brand and strategy director of Digitech Brands, Digitech Brands in itself is a business development company. And this is where we work with companies that are actually startups, SMEs, and also enterprise clients. And one of the things that most customers come to us, they tell us, we want to grow our brand. And the first thing we want to know from them, even before we start pulling in our magic, which is marketing, digital marketing and all this stuff, we want first to understand their goals, their vision, where do they want to go, how far do they want to scale, all right? So now, when you understand all that, it's easier for us now to come up with a brand strategy. Okay, so for you to grow your brand, first of all, you have to come up with a brand strategy. And a brand strategy is basically how you want this brand to be felt out there, how far you want this brand to grow, how much are you willing to invest for the sake of your brand to scale. Because again, even to grow your brand, you have to invest resources. You have to have the right employees. You have to have the money for you to actually build the brand. And for you to build a brand also, marketing is very critical. Most people, especially most SMEs, they really don't value the aspect of marketing, right? So you'll find somebody is busy setting up an office, you know, having a big team, but you have all this team that brings this idea into existence, but how you're going to take that idea out there is a big challenge. So even before thinking of hiring a big team, first of all, you need to identify, how am I taking this product to that person that is actually going to consume this product?
Yes.
And a good way is actually testing the market even before you put in extra investment of your capital in the business. For example, if you want to start a business where you want to sell shirts, first approach a couple of people, know how many shirts would they want, know what colors of these shares are going to go more, so that even when now you're bringing in more stock, you know what to focus on. Because a lot of people, what they do is that they focus a lot on the materials, you know, they focus a lot on the idea, the brand, but they don't think about what is the customer going to perceive this. And you see, even that is actually part of market research, because even before you sell your products, you have to test that product in the market. And once you've tested and it has been received well, then now you can pour in your marketing resources. And as the product grows and grows, then you can even hire more resources. But if you pour in your investment, or rather your capital and finances immediately, then you're going to burn out.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Right, now let's talk, but since we're talking about investing in your business, we're even talking about bringing in on board an investor.
Right.
What are these things that an investor is going to look at your business, maybe in just 1 minute or just a couple of seconds? What are these important questions that an investor is going to ask you before they say, well, I think I can give your business a second look? I'd rather we put them outside there so that anybody who's really thinking of properly investing in their business, then they will know, like, well, an investor is going to come and probably ask me 2, 3, 5 questions, and they would have already made their decision on my business.
Right.
Yes.
You know, like they normally say, money, before I give you money, I've really worked hard to get that money.
Yes.
So you don't just, you're not going to put it anywhere. You know, you put your money where your mouth is, or rather your mouth where your money is, whatever, however it goes. So before this investor is going to give you money, first of all, they are going to look at you as a person. Are you somebody who can persevere the challenges of entrepreneurship? Because a lot of people, and for me, I think this is more personal, because when I started my business, I thought, you know, it's just going to be, oh, a millionaire tomorrow. But it came with a lot of hard work. It came with a lot of sleepless nights. It came sometimes with a lot of tears. You sign up a big project, tomorrow it's not there. And you've put in a lot of your time, your effort, everything you got, even your money. And so they are going to also test your patience. How are you going to stand in times of uncertainties? You know, then besides that, what are the systems you've put in place for this business to be successful, right? And one of the most important things startups need to really put keen interest in is actually investing in systems, especially technological systems that run the systems of the company. That includes your financial systems. Are they correct? Are your books correct? Are your taxes being filed? So you need to put all this into perspective, right? And a lot of startups, in fact, they don't even pay their salaries. You know, you earn $1 million shillings, it's your salary. You go and buy your first Mercedes. So you need to have systems where you are salaried, your team is salaried, there is a savings plan, there is an operations plan, and those are some of the things they are going to look at. Now, the other thing they are going to look at is now the potential of your business to grow. Yes, you have an idea, but does it have potential for the market? Is this product something people actually need? Or is this something that only you need? Because, you know, sometimes you start a business because you think you really need this thing, but does everybody else need that thing? So they are going to look at a lot of that. And these things of finance and all that, something that you can actually work around and also seek financial, you know, support from people who are financially intelligent in that area. You don't really need to put a lot of effort, but just know your thing, know your business inside out, and have the patience to grow that business.
Pretty much.
Right.
Now, let's also look at, I would say, even things like business accounts and filing your taxes. Is it important? How do you manage a business account? Because that's another area as well. Because here's an investment that's coming in and you have a business account. How do you manage it? And even other legal issues like filing your taxes. How do you manage? Should it be up to speed before you start talking about proper investments in the business? Yes.
In fact, that should be one of the first things you need to really look into.
Yes.
You need, in fact, when you're starting a business or when you open a company and you register yourself as a, you know, you register your VAT and as a tax whatever, what normally happens at KRA will invite you for a training. And most SMEs don't go to those trainings. Those trainings are very important because if you don't go to those trainings, you'll find yourself being charged for money you should not have been charged.
Isn't it?
You know, yes, you're filed for almost 30,000 and maybe that month you made 0 shillings.
Yes.
Where do you start? So the most important thing is once you're starting a business, get information. Talk to people that have gone there before you. That's the reason why they went before you.
Yes.
So that when it's your time, you can actually approach these people. Don't be a loner. Learn from other people. Learn to talk to other people who have had businesses before. And a lot of SMEs, I understand, sometimes you don't have the muscle to maybe, you know, hire someone, maybe an accountant as you're starting. Talk to friends that have actually done accounts and be like, you know what, I'm starting a business. Are you willing to come on board and be filing my returns? And this is the amount I'll be paying you once, you know, umeomoka or something. But if you focus on it yourself, remember you don't have an understanding of that.
I see.
You can find yourself in a situation you won't get out. And KRA, by the way, is serious. It is serious.
Patience, I would have wished that we had more time to continue with this conversation,
Yes.
but I'm getting told that we actually have to get out right now. How can they get you if they want to talk to you?
Okay, so if you want to reach us, especially for marketing services, you can visit our website at digitechbrands.com, fill in the form there, our contact form, and we'll get right back.
And that's exactly how we come to the end of Business at Emma this morning. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kienge.